In the deep dive tonight, new gun laws are set to go into effect in Virginia in a month, but some Commonwealth attorneys are now fighting back on these new restrictions.
Nick Minock joins us live now from Spotsylvania County to break down why prosecutors say they will not enforce the law. Nick.
A growing number of Virginia Commonwealth attorneys say they're not going to enforce these new gun laws that will be enacted on July 1st. We've counted 10 Commonwealth attorneys so far, including the ones in Warren County and here in Spotsylvania County.
The assault weapons ban and the public carry ban are obviously unconstitutional.
Spotsylvania County Commonwealth Attorney Ryan Mehaffey is among the group of Virginia Commonwealth attorneys vowing not to enforce the new assault firearm ban and public carry ban signed by Governor Abigail Spanberger. The new Virginia law will make it a misdemeanor, punishable by up to a year in jail and a $2,500 fine for people to buy, sell, transfer, import, or manufacture an assault firearm. That includes semi-automatic rifles or pistols with a magazine capacity of more than 15 rounds. After she signed the law, Governor Spanberger told news outlets, quote, "Firearms designed to inflict maximum casualties do not belong on our streets. We are taking this step to protect families and support the law enforcement officers who work every day to keep our communities safe." Attorney General Jay Jones told news outlets, quote, "Commonwealth attorneys are elected to enforce our laws, which is what we expect them to do when these laws take effect on July 1st. And in response to Commonwealth attorneys like Mehaffey, some Democrats have even said, quote, "You don't get to pick and choose which law you will enforce." But Mehaffey fired back, saying Democratic Fairfax County Commonwealth attorney Steve Descano seems to do just that. 7 News has reported on how Descano has dropped charges on several violent suspects like Abdul Jallo, and he dropped numerous gun crime charges against illegal immigrants who then went on to commit more crimes.
The law should be vigorously enforced against violent and dangerous people. And the laws that were not being enforced in some other jurisdictions were not being enforced not out of constitutional concern, but just out of an ideology.
In response to these new gun laws, the Spotsylvania County Board of Supervisors passed a resolution declaring Spotsylvania County a Second Amendment sanctuary. And right now, the NRA is suing to block the new gun laws from taking effect. Back to you.
So, Nick, does the governor or the General Assembly, do they have the power to remove Commonwealth attorneys if they don't enforce the laws that are on the books?
Yeah, the governor and the General Assembly do not have that ability. If they did, we probably would have seen Republican then Governor Glenn Youngkin remove Commonwealth attorneys he didn't like, including Commonwealth attorney Steve Descano. But Commonwealth attorneys are constitutional officers. Voters get the final say every 4 years if they want to continue electing their Commonwealth attorney or picking a new one. Reporting live in Spotsylvania County, Nick Minock, 7 News.
Yeah, very true. Up to the voters, Nick. And we do want to hear from you at home. Scan the QR code to vote in our question of the day. Should Commonwealth attorneys be able to refuse to enforce state laws? Right now, somewhat split. We're seeing 41% of you say yes, they should be able to refuse those state laws, while 59% say no. But we're going to keep checking back on these results throughout the evening, so be sure to weigh in there. Now, Maryland is also facing a lawsuit from the NRA over a so-called Glock ban that was signed into law last week. Now, that measure outlaws the manufacture, purchase, and sale of pistols that are capable of being easily converted to machine gun-style weapons.
Now it will be a serious crime to own these weapons because nobody on a street in Maryland needs a weapon of war built to fire at that pace.
This is in reaction to acts of criminals misusing these firearms. This would be, I don't see the governor banning certain types of vehicles because they're used in more drunk driving accidents. Our goal ultimately is to take this all the way to the Supreme Court.
Now, the Glock ban will go into effect in 2027 on New Year's Day. Violators could face up to 3 years in jail or face a $5,000 fine or possibly both. There are exemptions, though, for active and retired law enforcement.